Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Alex the Comic Hoarder. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. If this is your first time here, if this is your first time watching one of these videos, I would just ask that you hit that subscription button so you can stay up to date on all the future content and all the future videos. I've got one of the biggest Amazing Spider-Man hauls and collections that I've ever had the opportunity of buying, and I was able to make a deal for it, so I'm going to show off what I was able to pick up. Hopefully you guys are excited. Here we go. Before we get started with the video, I want to do a quick reminder and let you guys know to go to 789comics.com and enter the code 9.2crew to save 10% on your next order. They've got some fantastic books, and I'll try to put them up on the screen right now so that you can see some of the amazing variants that you can buy right now or pre-order and get an awesome deal from 789comics.com using the discount code 9.2crew. Also, if you're in the St. Louis, St. Charles, Missouri area, you'll definitely want to check out Justin's Comics. They have 50% off everything in the store on Mondays, and then on Wednesdays, new comic book days, 50% off cover price for new books or 50% off anything that's within 90 days. And that includes the prices that they have on their comics, their variants, their ratios. Everything is 50% off the prices that they have marked or cover price. It's definitely a way for me to save money and for me to pick up more books on a weekly basis because of the money that I save at Justin's Comics. When I think about Silver Age Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man is definitely at the top of a lot of people's lists, and it's definitely at the top or one of the top 2 or 3 on my list for sure for Silver Age Marvel. I just always knew that it was an uphill battle to collect something so vast with so many keys. And I think, gosh, there's probably like within the first 100 issues, probably 75% of those books have some sort of key or some sort of significant cover or something that happens within the book or on the cover that makes it a key issue, whether it be a major key or a minor key. It just seemed like such a daunting thing to do. Even the fact that I had an Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Spider-Man, I knew that that was probably the pinnacle book of the series, the pinnacle book of Silver Age Spider-Man. But then collecting the rest was such a daunting thought that I didn't even want to pursue it. And I actually got rid of the Amazing Fantasy 15 to pursue other things that are in my personal collection that I really, really love and cherish. Some of the only books that I've kept out of my Amazing Spider-Man collection were Amazing Spider-Man 15, the first appearance of Kraven. It's in probably about 3.0 condition. It's got some folds up here and some spine creases, but it really is in a pretty decent condition, and I got it for a really good price a couple of years ago. I've also kept Amazing Spider-Man 46, the first appearance of Shocker. I got this at a store in Springfield, Illinois. And recently I found Amazing Spider-Man 95, and this was a book that I found in a local antique shop for really cheap. A couple months ago I was on Facebook Marketplace and I found an ad for a guy who had just a ton of comic books, and there really wasn't much a description of what he had. I saw a picture of Shazam #1 was the only really recognizable book, some Bronze Age books, and I kept pressing him for what he had, and he said he just had thousands and thousands of comic books. Found out he had a collection of Amazing Spider-Man, a collection of Fantastic Four, Avengers, some other titles, and so I really wanted to focus in on what I could get because I wasn't going to be able to afford what he wanted for the entire collection. So I narrowed it down to what he was willing to get rid of, and we settled on Amazing Spider-Man. I picked up 3 short boxes full of comics. Actually, there was a little bit more. Some things I just kept unbagged and boarded for a while because these are the ones that I wanted to prioritize. I put them all into Mylar, and so now I'm going to start showing you what was in the collection. The lowest number that he had was Amazing Spider-Man number 17. It's a little lower grade condition. There's some folds up here and there's some staining along this side right here, but it's the second appearance of the Green Goblin. It's definitely one that I wanted in the collection. I used to have the first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 14, don't have that one anymore, but happy to have the second appearance of Green Goblin. Next was Amazing Spider-Man 18. This is the third appearance of Sandman and the first appearance of Ned Leeds, who becomes Hobgoblin. This is also lower grade, probably 1.8 condition, 2.0 condition. It's Amazing Spider-Man 18. Pretty low condition, but it's pretty awesome. First appearance of Ned Leeds, third appearance of Sandman. 2 copies of Amazing Spider-Man 24, and it's an appearance of Mysterio, but he's in disguise. So pretty awesome book. This one has a little bit of chunk down here missing, and then this one over here's got a chunk above right there and a little chunk here. Both pretty solid copies, but lower grade, but pretty awesome that he had 2 copies of this book. Next is a book that I've had in the past. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 26. This is the first appearance of Crime Master. And he also had this copy, which is a pretty nice copy other than that chipping right there. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 27. This is actually the death of Crime Master. This is a book that I've really been wanting, but I didn't really want to pay the price for it, and this is actually a pretty solid copy. I would say anywhere from 3.5 to 4.0 maybe. This is Amazing Spider-Man 28, the first appearance of Molten Man. And also in the collection, he had 2 copies of Amazing Spider-Man 30, and this is the first appearance of Cat Burglar. Both in pretty low condition, but probably about that 3.0 range. Here's Amazing Spider-Man number 32. Pretty low grade copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 33. This is probably like a 2.0 to 2.5, I would say. It's got a spine roll, some spine splits, and some chipping, but it's still a really iconic Steve Ditko cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 34. It's the second appearance of Harry Osborn and also the second appearance of Gwen Stacy. He had 2 really nice copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 36, and this is the first time you see the sound effect thwip, and also it's the first appearance of Meteor Man or the Looter. This is a book that I've wanted for a long time. This is Amazing Spider-Man 37, and it is the first appearance of Norman Osborn, probably about that 3.0 to 4.0 range. Pretty solid, nice book. This is Amazing Spider-Man 38, and it is the second cameo appearance of Mary Jane Watson, and it's also the last Steve Ditko cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man 39, and this is in beautiful, beautiful condition. For some reason, 39 and 40 were just immaculate, and this is when Peter Parker and Norman Osborn discover each other's identities, and just a really great John Romita cover. And this is once again another very, very beautiful copy. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 40. It's probably 8.0 or higher. I would on the safe side probably say 8.0 or higher. This is the origin of Green Goblin, and it's a beautiful John Romita cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 41. It's the first appearance of Rhino, and this is a book that I've never had, and this is probably a nice, probably solid 4.0 condition book. Here is Amazing Spider-Man number 42. This is a really nice book, and it's probably about a 5.0 to 6.0 copy, and it's the second full appearance, or second appearance of Mary Jane Watson. It's the first time they go on a date, Peter and Mary Jane. So this has a newsstand stamp, Peachtree News Company Incorporated in Atlanta, Georgia. So that gives it some kind of provenance, pretty cool stamp there, and really nice copy of this book. Here's a nice copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 44, and this is the second appearance of the Lizard. 2 really cool copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 45. I've always liked this cover. I don't think there's much key about this book. It's just got a really great yellow cover with the Lizard battling Spider-Man. Really cool, and 2 very nice copies of this book. And he had in his collection a pretty nice solid copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 46, the first appearance of Shocker. As you can see, there's some chipping at the top, but anything other than that, I mean, there's just a little bit of spine damage, a little bit of corner ding right down there. But it's awesome to have my second copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 46, first appearance of Shocker. 1 really nice copy of Amazing Spider-Man 47. This one is probably about 4.0 to 5.0 range, and then we've got your 2.0 to 2.5 lower grade. Just a really cool Kraven the Hunter cover. Amazing Spider-Man number 47, 2 copies. A very nice copy of Amazing Spider-Man 49 with Vulture and Kraven the Hunter on the cover. And we have 2 copies of that in the collection. And this is the book, of course, that I've always wanted, but I never really wanted to pay the price for it. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Beautiful, beautiful John Romita cover, and it's the first appearance of Kingpin. So if you're an Amazing Spider-Man fan, if you are a Daredevil fan, Kingpin is a must-have. And so absolutely beautiful book. Very, very iconic cover as well. And it's just a classic must-have for any Spider-Man fan. He had 2 copies. Once again, here's a nicer copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 52, and you've got your lower grade reader copy as well. This is the 3rd appearance of the Kingpin. He had 2 copies of The Amazing Spider-Man number 53 with Doc Ock. Here's your nicer copy, and here's your reader copy. I've always loved this cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 55 with Doc Ock on the cover, and you can see Spider-Man in his goggles. This is number 56, really cool Doc Ock on the cover, and this is the first appearance of Captain Stacy. Here's Amazing Spider-Man number 57 with Kazar on the cover. And a very, very nice copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 60 with a huge Kingpin on the cover. This is awesome. Really nice black cover. And this is Amazing Spider-Man number 61. It's the first time that Gwen Stacy is on the cover of the book. And this is your nice copy, and here's your reader copy. Both actually are pretty darn nice. This one's probably definitely mid-grade, and this one's probably a 3.0. Two solid mid-grade copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 62. Just a really great classic John Romita cover with Medusa on the cover. Next is a really, really beautiful copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 63 with Vulture. Continuing that storyline, you've got Amazing Spider-Man number 64. Awesome cover there as well. And this is one that you can probably call iconic because there's posters, there's t-shirts. This is probably an easily recognizable cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 65. And both copies are probably in solid mid-grade. This is another book that's kind of taken off lately. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 66 with a beautiful Mysterio cover. And I think because of the movie, this one's garnered a lot of attention. Rightfully so. It's just a great cover. This cover I know is a fan favorite. This is Amazing Spider-Man 67. It's the first appearance of Randy Robertson, and this is the copy that's a little bit lower grade. It's got some scuffing here on the spine, but it's still probably solid 4.0 condition. This is a 5 to 6 easily. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 68. Also a really cool cover, and this might be also on posters and t-shirts. Two solid mid-grade copies of Amazing Spider-Man 69 with Kingpin on the cover, and one low-grade copy and one nice solid mid-grade copy of Amazing Spider-Man 70, just a really cool John Romita Sr. cover. And there's a theme. There's a nicer copy and usually a reader copy. Really beautiful condition copy of Amazing Spider-Man 72 with Shocker on the cover, and there's a little bit of staple stress right there, but other than that, this is a beautiful, beautiful copy. A little bit of corner wear right up there. So definitely mid-grade, probably 5.5, 6.0, just beautiful black cover, probably hard to get in high grade. Here is a nice white solid copy of 73, the first appearance of Silvermane and Man Mountain Marco. It's actually a little bit easier than what I made it out to be, so. Man Mountain Marco. There you go. Amazing Spider-Man 73. Here are two copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 74, probably both in that 4 to 5 range. Really happy that that collection had two copies of Amazing Spider-Man 75, just a classic John Romita cover. This one has a little bit more spine stress, so it's going to be about that 3.0 to 4.0 range, where this one's a little bit nicer. And this one also has a little bit of marker there at the top, as you can see right on the Spider-Man there. And once again, this one's a little bit nicer, probably about that 5.0, 6.0 range. He had two copies of number 76, and from my recollection, both of these are that mid-grade. This one is about a 4.0 range, 3.5, 4.0 range. It's got that really big old color-breaking crease there, and then this one's a very nice solid copy. I've always loved this cover because it's got the Human Torch on it. This is Amazing Spider-Man 77. This one is pretty nice, solid high grade or mid-grade, solid mid-grade, and this one's once again got that big old spine crease, so this is going to be about that 3.5, 4.0 range. Other than that, it's very, very nice and solid. And this might actually be the first time in this lot that there were 3 copies of a book, but it's a nice book to have 3 copies of. It's the first appearance of Prowler, and so we'll take a look at all of these copies. I think they were all pretty nice copies. This one's probably 5.5 grade there, just based on the cover. All of these books are complete. I've looked through every single one of them before I was bagging and boarding. This one's a little bit nicer, maybe that 5.0 to 6.0 range. And then this one looks to be a little bit lower. It's got some spine stress there on the corner. And other than that, just a little bit dirty. So it's going to be easily 4.5, I would say. No big creases, no creases more than that on the cover. Just pretty solid. Pretty solid, nice 3 copies of the first appearance of Prowler. Continuing on, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 79, and this is the second appearance of the Prowler. This one is the reader copy, 3.0, 4.0 condition, and this one's a little bit nicer, definitely mid-grade. No big spine or color-breaking creases, no big issues, just 2 really nice copies. I've always liked this green cover. This is number 80 with the chameleon. He had 2 copies of number 81, and this is the first appearance of the kangaroo. He had 2 copies of number 82. This one is going to be 1.5 to 2.0 range. It's got a spine split, probably 2-inch spine split there on the cover, and then pretty rough spine. It is attached, and then you've got a much nicer copy of 82, Electra on the cover. Pretty awesome book. This one is easily about a 4.0 as well. Two very nice copies of number 83. This is the first appearance of Richard Fisk. He had two very nice copies of 84 in the battle with Kingpin once again. He had three great copies of number 85, once again continuing the battle with the Kingpin, and all are very, very nice high-grade copies. And another book that I was very happy to find doubles of, this one's a little bit lower grade. It's got a little bit of a spine roll, but could be fixed and maybe not even need to. As you can see, there's just a little bit of an overhang there. This one, oh, it's also got writing there on the cover, as you can see right there. But this is a very nice copy, and these are, I don't have this anymore in my collection, but so I'm happy to have two copies. This is the first time Black Widow is in her more spy outfit, so this is the first time she changes costume. He had two mid-grade copies of number 87, and it's really nice because it's got Mary Jane as well as Gwen Stacy both on the cover, and supposedly Spider-Man admits who he is to them in this issue, but I don't think he really does. I haven't read this issue, so I don't know. Then there's two copies of number 88 where Spider-Man looks to be in the tentacles, the arms of Doc Ock. And this is the first time in the collection that there are actually four copies of one book. The first one is in very nice high-grade condition, and then you start to go down a little bit, mid-grade condition, and then lower mid-grade condition, and then you've got your reader copy here with some chipping going on up there, and just it's honestly a solid lower grade copy. It's still probably maybe a 2.5, 3.0, actually probably 3.0, so still a solid copy, and there was actually four copies of that one issue. And he had two copies of number 90, and this is the death of Captain Stacy. There were two copies of number 91. There was a nice crossover, and this is the first time that Spider-Man and Iceman battle, and this is issue number 92. Three copies of number 93. The first one is in very high grade, and once again you go down a little bit. This one's got some spine stress, so this one's probably about that 5.0, 4.0 to 5.0 range. And then you've got your lower grade with a lot of rubbing and some spine wear and some rubbing on the top and creases. So this one's probably about the 2.5 to 3.0 range. And this book is the first appearance of Arthur Stacy. Here are two copies of number 94 with an appearance from the Beetle, and Aunt May looks like she's captured by the Beetle. As I showed at the beginning of the video, I have a copy of 95 that I found at an antique mall, and this is where Spider-Man visits London, and that was obviously used in the most recent Spider-Man movie. And as you can see, there were two more really nice copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 95 in that collection. The next couple issues do not have the Comic Code Authority. These are the drug issues, and this is two copies of number 96. Here's a copy of number 97, and this one has a subscription crease right down the center of the book. Otherwise, it's pretty nice. And still with no Comic Code Authority stamp of approval, this one is issue number 98. And the only big flaw on this one was it's got a little bit of a spine roll here, and then it's got that color breaking crease at the top corner. He had two copies of number 99. This one's pretty low grade. It looked like popped top staple attached at the bottom staple, but still pretty low grade. Three or four big color breaking creases right there. And then you've got your nice higher grade copy of this book, issue number 99. Once again, back with the Comic Code Authority stamp of approval. And to round out this video, there's still a ton of books left. It goes all the way up to modern. It goes up to the McFarlane stuff, which I really want to show you guys, and it goes through the hundreds and 200s. But we've got two copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 1. This is a book that I've always wanted to own. This book could use a pressing because it's got some waves in it. Still a really nice solid copy. And then you've got your little bit higher of a grade book. It does have a color breaking crease going up this side right here. It looks like somebody opened the cover and kind of folded it, breaking color there. But the whites are whites, the darks are darks. This is a really beautiful copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 100. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're not already subbed to this channel, hit that subscription button. I've got so much more of this collection and a few other hauls to show. I actually picked up another collection from the same guy, so stay tuned to that. You're not going to want to miss it. Also, leave a thumbs up if you can. Really encourages and helps out the channel. And if you can, comment down below if you're collecting this. Let me know what you're collecting. Are you collecting 100 up? Are you collecting 50 and up? Are you collecting 1 through current? Let me know down below if you have 5 issues of Amazing Spider-Man in number 600s? I don't know. Just let me know down below. Let's start a conversation down there. Thank you guys once again for subscribing and supporting this channel. Really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I'll talk to you all on the next one. See ya. Bye.